Hey all, it's Snakeo here, this time with a quick custom hip tip. As you guys might have clicked by now, I'm not a fan of Y hips, I like my Tcut hips. So here's a few suggestions if you are for a few figures which are out there, just a few current ones. We're going to stick with the movie, keep it in theme. I'm aware there's just a pair of legs here, bear with me. Okay, we'll start from right and we'll go left. Juggernaut from the absolutely amazing X-Men Last Stand film. Just a moment of pause, guys. Anyway, in fact I actually just recently watched a trailer for the new Wolverine coming out, and I think they're actually taking from that. Why anyone would want to remind anyone of that film, I do not know. Anyway, Juggernaut. You know what, I didn't think Vinnie Jones did a terrible job in that film. I've seen worse acting positions, but for the figure itself, I think it's quite a good sculpt, to be honest. It's nice, it's bulky, it's beef. It looks like Vinnie Jones quite nicely. Yeah, it looks like Juggernaut, and I thought that was pretty cool. The hips, though, they were the stupid. Yeah, why? Hey, this is Tcut. This is actually a Sota Street Fighter Akuma hips. So everything Vinnie Jones apart from this bit. So yeah, it's a good one if you want to keep it. So now we can go, and you can spar people. Anyway, Juggernaut. Mr. Hemsworth, I've already spoken to you about my Ultimate 4, but I just thought I'd go over it again as I'm doing all these. His hips are the WWE, I don't know the guy's name, the guy that wears 3/4 length jeans, very bulky guy. His hips, I think they actually fit almost perfectly, to be honest. I gave a quick spot of paint just to camouflage them. I'm going to do a better job at a later date. I was actually waiting to see if they bring out any more 4 figures. So yeah. WWE, they have really good hips. Big fan of them right now. Anyway, this is actually Colossus, the Marvel Legends. I cannot remember what wave it is. It's Colossus, but again, he has the diagonal hips. His hips, I simply took the movie Beast hips, put them in place. They're ever so slightly, if you can really make it out, ever so slightly smaller in the waist, but it's barely noticeable, so they work really well. So now he's got good hips. This Iron Man was hell and a half pipe way before the Avengers came out, so we didn't have the Adams. This is actually what I've been working on since the first one. He's had a few improvements and a few knockbacks since then. The shoulder pads are actually glued into place when they first came out, so they can rotate all the way around, and the arms can go all the way out, and shoulder pads don't move, so they don't go popping off every flipping 2 seconds. As for the hips, you notice they might stand out a bit more. I literally cut this thing in half, very difficultly, emptied, cut everything away that's inside here, and then I managed to find, what the hell was it? I can't even remember who it was. Someone's hips who they managed to fit on just about, and they do. And now I've done all that, I've had a new idea since the new Mark 42 figures come out. I'm going to hopefully get a dozen of them and just do as many armours as I can with not Mark 42 as a base. But this one also swapped his hands out for some war machines, because the Iron Man one were lacking in detail quite dramatically. I think if anyone knows that. So yeah, so he can also and his Mark, what was it, 6? Yeah, 6. Excuse the glue thumbprint, single around scratching off. Anyway, this was actually one of the most expensive customs I've ever done. Pretty much everything is the Marvel Legends Walmart exclusive Mark 6 Iron Man, except for the hips. Didn't like the hips, thought every single thing I could fathom, but because he's got such a robotic looking hip, it's not easy to just swap him out for some simple ball joints. As you can see, the simple ball joints, they just don't look right. So what could I do? I got a Revoltech Iron Man. That's right, a Revoltech Iron Man, and I thought I'd try and incorporate as much of that figure into this as I could. Didn't like any of it. It just didn't like it. I liked this figure. I like how it felt. I like how, you know. So this figure's actually had a bit of an overhaul. Its shoulders are actually the Mark III shoulders. It's these shoulders with the pads glued on, so the arms can move. Not as much as I'd like, but they move. That's about it on the torso, which was great fun having to pop that open to carve that out and get them in there. Great fun. You keep the range of movement there, so it's all good. So you can still get the flight pose. Anyway, but the hips, these were the Revoltech hips from, I think it was Mark 6 I got also. They're great hips. They're very interesting. They go forward and then forward. They've kind of got two separate joints, and then they go out as well. So you get a great range of motion with them. I mean, you look at that. I mean, freaking, they're great. Something Hasbro should have done a long time ago. But they were just so expensive to do this. I mean, I'm from the UK, so it was like, what, £15 for the figure, and then it was something like £35? I don't know, something like that for just these hips. Not the wisest choice I've made, hence I only did it once. I was hoping to find some more cheap, but never did. Anyway, finally the big guy. The Hulk Smash. Two simple things I've done with this guy. Weren't actually that simple. I popped him open to try and do something. Didn't work so well. Anyway, I've trimmed off just a little bit from here. It's not that noticeable. I'm going to sand it down at some point. Gives him just a little bit more movement. This figure's so cool. It's just got such a great crunch. But his hips, I've tried several things actually, but what I came back to was, I believe this is a World War Hulk. Just cut it, popped him, stuck him, and it's not too bad if you ask me. It's a little bit bulky, but I think it looks really good. I'm going to eventually putty up front here, make it look like trousers, and, you know, fill in the gaps. But for now, I just think it looks really cool. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't have to, so because it's got the tan. But yeah, now we've got the Hulk can kick, and he can do a Sparta kick. I know I keep calling it a Sparta kick, it's just all I think about when everyone just kicks forward. I don't know, for anyone who's not getting what I'm on about, either watch 300 or Meet the Spartans. My personal favourite is Meet the Spartans kick. Not the film's terrible, but the kick was just brilliant because it sprays and everything. It's brilliant. But anyway, yeah, there's a few hip tips. If you guys are interested, leave some comments and I'll keep posting any more I can think of. I'm sure I'm not the only one that hates bloody, I don't know what to call them. I call them Y, 45 degree, stupid hips. Tcut all the way. Thanks for watching.